Hello, I'm Stephanie, and this is Texas Peach Knits. Well, it's been a little while. I'm glad to be back talking to you all about knitting and creating after a very long and eventful summer. I have wrapped up my Fluffier Stash make-along that we had some lovely participants in, and many entries for the final grand prize drawing of everyone that completed their coloring sheet. I am just so grateful to Lynn from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts and Leanne from Forbidden Fiber Co. for their donations to our prizes. Neither of these ladies are sponsors of the podcast, and they passed along some beautiful yarns from their collections to share with you. So Lynn shared both some of her hand-dyed yarn and some of the items from her personal stash, and Leanne shared some mini skein sets from her shop since she was moving buildings. And now I'm happy to tell you that she has a brand new location in Covington, Tennessee. So if you love her hand-dyed yarn and you want to go on a field trip to visit her, you can look her up on her website. So I will have Chicken Lady Fiber Arts and Forbidden Fiber Co. linked below, so you can check out their websites. I'm not going to reshare all of the prizes, but I am going to pop up on the screen now the 3 winners. So I drew for July, August, and the grand prize drawing, which was from everyone that turned in a coloring sheet. So if you are the July winner, you can now see your name. If you are the August winner, you are up on the screen. And if you are our grand prize winner from the drawing that everyone that completed a coloring sheet had 1 entry in, your name is here now. So I just congratulate all of you. Please contact me. Probably the quickest way is through Instagram, and I will get your prizes out to you as soon as possible, but it sometimes does take me a little bit to mail things, so I know you understand that. So my end of summer did not go completely as planned. I had several podcast episodes that I had planned to film, particularly about stash fluffing, which we all love and it's so much fun, but the time and the the happenings of our summer created like a vacuum, and I barely knit, let alone podcast anything. It was bizarre and just so out of the norm for me, and I have gone through like knitting dry spells before, but this was this was bad, and I don't really know exactly what it is. I think I thought my kids are older and like they don't need as much from me, so maybe I would have tons more time, but then it seemed like they needed me a lot more. And they all have like friends now, so now like I'm transporting them places to see friends, and just my time was eaten up. It was good, you know. We did a ton of swimming and library time, seeing friends and family. I mean, none of it was bad, but it was like my time was just totally consumed. So I apologize if you were looking forward to more videos. I just couldn't do it. And since this is not a business venture for me, I don't have, like, this is not the first priority. And I know you understand that, though. So I don't need to apologize, but I am, because I am sorry, because I did want to do more, and then it ended up I just couldn't. I also like went crazy with cooking this summer, and I decided I was gonna start trying to make a lot of our staples from scratch. So I'd already been making sourdough, but I went so far as to replace basically all of our baked goods that we use on a regular basis with homemade. So like hamburger buns, breadsticks, sourdough bread, sandwich bread, everything. Granola bars. So I was trying to figure out how to balance like being able to make all of this food with more basic ingredients, and not just like for granola bars, and not just going and buying the box at the store, but you know, having to make them and chill them and slice them and store them, and you know, it just gets complicated. And it's good things, and it's brought on by, like, you know, health and also money, because food is getting more expensive, and I find it really helpful to be able to make more things from simpler ingredients, where I'm buying you know, ingredients instead of pre-made items. So like that was this summer. It just, lots and lots of things are and my oven broke, and I have like a it's like a small wall oven, because our house was built in the early 70s, and you can't just like go out and replace that very easily. So I had a repairman come, and you know, having to get that repaired. The air conditioner in my van broke, so I had to go through fixing the air conditioner in my van. That is never cheap. Our air conditioner in our house broke. I mean, it was just like everything, you know, other than like our health has been good, so praise God. So those other things we can handle, we can get through. But anyways, it all got invaded my knitting time. So that's what I'm saying. This was too long of an intro now. I'm out of practice. So, but I've missed talking to you all. I hope you will say hello to me in the comments. Tell me what you've been up to this summer. Did you enjoy fluffing your stash? I will say that in August, nothing happened, and it's okay. It's just, it's the way the cookie crumbles, right? So anyways, last week I had to kind of do a reassessment of what projects am I still working, like where are these projects, what am I working on, what's on the needles, what's almost done. And so I did that, and I'm going to show you some of the things that are finished, some of the things that are just barely started, some things are restarted, and then I might mention some of my older projects that have been set aside but that I still want to finish and work on. So first of all, for finished objects, I finished my Mystery Mouse Yarn Co. socks from the Little Blue Truck colorway. This is well, mostly finished. I weaved in the ends, but I haven't clipped them yet. So this is my younger son's pair of socks, and they are complete. If you might notice something not the same about them, and part of that is because I did not knit on them cohesively and just forgot to do something. So this is the second set of socks that I have made out of this sock yarn set that Holly of Mystery Mouse Yarn sent me. And the first sock, I did this ribbing where I do the gusset on the foot, and that was just to kind of get a little more custom fit for my son. And when I was knitting the second one, I completely left it off. So he does not care. And by the time I realized what I had done, I thought I'm not going back. So these were 56 stitch socks, adult small, and the foot I knit 62 rows before I switched to the toe. This was a sock yarn set, and I still have quite a good amount left. So this will go into my like scrap bag for more heels, toes, and cuffs, or a sock yarn scrap blanket, which may be in the works. And I got 2 good sized pairs of kids socks out of these. Now Holly from Mystery Mouse is in my fancy needlecraft or fancy reading and needlecraft club, which we host on Instagram with Emily of Woldenburn. And she is dyeing a sock set for the book that we're reading this fall. So if you're interested in getting a sock set from her, it is inspired by our book, the James Herriot All Creatures Great and Small. And I just realized today I have the teacher's edition. That will come in handy for our discussion. But if you would like to join our group, we are all on Telegram, and we are reading on the whole book in the month of September. So basically, you have the rest of the month through the first week of October to read or listen. And we are going to discuss the whole book starting October the 8th. And the reason we decided to do the whole book in one go this time is because many of us have previously read this book, even if it was a really long time ago, and many of us have seen the TV shows. So it's hard to do partial discussions, especially if you read fast and then you can't remember which part of the book something was from, and then you don't really want to bring something up just in case someone finished. So I decided it would be easier just to read the whole thing and discuss it all at once. So in combination with that, we are also working on whatever projects you're inspired to work on because of the book. And usually we let the area of the world that the book is from, or things we read about in the book, inspire our projects we choose. I'm trying to work on my husband's Fair Isle vest because it is very British and it's not going great because I had to restart the whole thing. But that is what it's very casual. There's no like you have to finish things or anything like that. It's just a hangout place and a place to talk about books. So if you would like to join that, you can email me at texaspeachknits@gmail.com, and I'll send you the link to the Telegram group. You can also Instagram message me. And if you would like to look at Holly's yarn, I think it's just like an inspiration photo because it's a surprise. I will have her shop linked below. Okay, so but beautiful yarn, so exciting to get another sock set from Holly. And I think you can get just a single skein as well. So, okay, so if you happen to be Anna Knitter and you happen to be watching this episode, please skip ahead. I will put the timestamp right here for you to skip to. If you're not Anna Knitter, I'm going to show you my finished object that I made for Anna's baby. And it is from this book, the 60 More Quick Baby Knits from Cascade Yarns. And I've had this forever. I don't think I've ever, I don't know, I maybe knit a project out of it, but it's been a while. But I was looking for just like a sweater pattern or a t-shirt pattern that I could knit, and I decided on the cover Boatneck sweater, and I will show you it on the inside. So this sweater was designed by McCauley, and it is a sport weight. It's for Cascade Sport 220 yarn, and I did not use that, but I did use a very similar color, and it's just a very simple boat neck shirt that's knit flat. So you start at the bottom of the front, knit up, cast on the sleeves, you know, cast off for the neck, cast back on, and then knit down the back side of the sweater. So it's a pretty simple sweater construction if you can cast on and cast off, and it has this cute little just kind of pearl bump pattern. So I knit mine on size 4 needles. I knit the smallest size, which was 6 months, and I knit it out of Patons Kroy Sock Yarn, which is close to a sport weight. And I had 2 50-gram balls of it. This is all that I have left. And I opted, I'm trying to remember what color it was, and I don't have the little paper right here, so I will put that below, but it is blue. And I decided not to do full-length sleeves because I was concerned that I would not have enough yarn, and I would have been playing yarn chicken. So I'm glad I didn't. I think this is a really versatile type of shirt for a baby or toddler because you can put a long-sleeved turtleneck or onesie under it and have it be like a transitional piece. So her baby is due, I think, at the end of October, and so 6 months would be spring and perfect time for a little transitional sweater. So here is my finished object. And like I said, you cast on the twisted rib at the bottom. And it's a, not a full rib because it's every other row pearl bumps, but twisted stitches. And then it has this all over pearl bump patterning. And then up here at the underarms, I did 2 sets of increases. So you increase to here, and this is cast on after you're done. So you don't do the arm ribbing until the end. And then you just knit up, do the twisted rib again, cast off for the neckline. It's kind of a wide neck because it's easier to get it over a baby's head. And then you just do the opposite on the other side. It's exactly the same, just backwards, casting on for the back of the neck, and then decreasing at the underarms, and then finishing off. So then you just sew up the sides and cast on the arm ribbing. So I did about an inch of ribbing around the arms, and the way babies, they like get chunky and then they get skinny again when they stretch out, like as they get older, like I feel like this will be able to be worn a while. So it's a very flexible, wearable garment. So excited to send this to Anna, and yeah, so I think it turned out really cute. I think once it's washed a few times, it will be very soft, and Patons Kroy is very sturdy, so it will hold up really nicely. All right, so if you're Anna Knitter and you're watching, you can be back now. And then furthermore with my projects, I did say that I restarted David's vest. Let me show you that. I had to completely tear the whole thing out because it was just way too big. And I recast on, I don't remember how many stitches I cast on. I'm gonna have to look up my paper, but just know I took it all out, I started over, and he definitely says tighter is better than looser because he would probably wear this under a suit jacket, and so you wouldn't want something really like loosey-goosey under a suit jacket. So this is going to be a Fair Isle vest. It is from Elizabeth Zimmerman's knitting workshop, and it is this Stu's Fair Isle vest. So I'm regrouping, I'm starting again. It's going to be fine. But that's all I have now, so it's not very exciting. And the last thing I brought in to show you today is I did start a sweater project for my 10-year-old son. He picked out this Hobby Lobby yarn on clearance. So I got this for $1.24 a skein. And I have used, I love this yarn for my son's sweaters in the past, and I think that like the first time you wear and wash it, it just seems like it's a pilling nightmare. But then I did knit a whole sweater for my younger son, and last year maybe, or the year before, and I have washed that thing a billion times. Like, I've washed it so many times, and it does not pill anymore. I think just like the first time or a couple of times, maybe, it seems like it's just gonna be horrible. But my younger son wore that sweater I made him every week, threw it in the laundry every single week, all last winter, and it still looks great. So I am happy to be using the yarn again. Now the pattern I'm making him is by Kathryn Folkerth, and she's Folkerth Knits, I think, on Instagram, and she has a website that I'll link below, but she has a ton of really classic knitting patterns for women and children, primarily boy knits because she has boys, but she does have some baby girl knits too that are very, very cute. And she just has a fantastic, classic, easy to wear style. And so I chose her Preston Pullover, which is a shawl collared, it looks like a Gainsey pattern on the top, and then it's stockinette for the rest. Now I looked at doing an all over, I think it's called Guernsey pattern for this, but I really wanted something somewhat mindless that I could take places with me to work on, so this ended up working out well. And of course I have it in the middle of a row to show you. So this is a pieced sweater, and this is the back for my 10-year-old. So it is, I'm knitting flat, and it's just 1x1 rib and stockinette for the back so far. So I'm really enjoying this color. And the color is dark olive. So if you're interested in getting the exact color, it is dark olive. So that's going well. I'm glad to be starting it, and it's going to be my going waiting places for kids knitting because I can pick it up and set it down easily. The last thing I have to show you today is my Mckin knittery haul. So my friend Liz and I made plans to drive to Mckin, which is about an hour away, and we had never been to Mckin knittery, and just, you know, we needed to have a fun afternoon, so that's what we did. Here's their cute little bag, Mckin knittery, with their stamp on it, and I did not take pictures of the store or vlog the trip or any of that because honestly, I'm not the best at that, and I'm going to leave that to the experts. But we really enjoyed ourselves. They have a great selection of yarns. I went looking for something very particular because I don't need more yarn at this point, and I'm just not knitting fast enough to get through what I have. But I did hand spin this yarn last year, and so I took this one with me. I have 3 skeins of this. Total, it's 466 yards, 11.8 ounces finished. And the mix is, it's 2 different dyers, and I don't think I have the dyers written down right now, but I can put that in the show notes. It's 50% BFL because some of it was BFL, 33% Falkland, and 17% Tessa silk. So I just really, really love how this turned out. And my goal for this yarn was to make a pullover sweater where this yarn is the yoke, and probably a garter stitch yoke. Like I'm feeling like a garter stitch circular yoke, and then maybe the sleeves, like the bottom part of the sleeves being the hand spun. But then I needed a complementary color that could be the body of the sweater, the rest of the arms of the sweater. And I just didn't know if I was gonna find what I needed, because the color is kind of like a peachy pink color, and then also kind of like a baby poop yellow. I mean, it's really an ugly color, but together it's beautiful and I love it. But I didn't necessarily want a baby poop yellow sweater. So I was like, I'll just take this with me and I will hold it up to all the different yarns at McKinney Knittery and just see what happens. And I can't believe it. I think I found really the perfect match. And it's a cost-effective yarn that I love. It's Berroco Vintage, and these were $9.50 off the shelf at McKinney Knittery, which is really a great price, not having to pay shipping. Love it. So look at that match. I just think that is beautiful. So I bought 3 of these, which is about 660 yards, I believe. And that combined with what I already have, I think I'll definitely be able to knit a pullover. And I don't have to do full length sleeves if I don't have enough. I'm fine with that because this is Texas. So now I just have to do some pattern hunting. I did get 3 and so excited. This is just says fall this year to me. Like, these are the fall colors. And right before we left, my friend Liz was like, oh, Stephanie, you have to come look at the Cascade Heritage sock yarn, which I have never worked with before. And they had a ton of it in a ton of different colors. And I'm gonna have a matching sweater and sock set this fall, maybe next fall. Let's keep it real. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? It's not even the same company. So this Berroco Vintage, it does not have a color name. It just says colorway 5195, and I'm sure online it has a color. So 5195, and it's heathered. And then this one is called Garnet Red, but it's really like a pinky corally color to me. So it really is the same kind of like color family as this one. So I'll be interested to see what they call this one online. And then this one, no surprise, pumpkin spice. Let's see here. Yes, pumpkin spice. So, so we're all fall, y'all. So I am so excited about this. This really made me happy, and I'm excited to make some happy fall socks, and I should have plenty to maybe even make like something else out of. We'll see. And then this is just lovely. Love this. It's going to be so fun to work on. So I will keep you updated, and hopefully I get this all skeined up, pick a pattern, figure things out before the next time I podcast. Now, speaking of the next time I podcast, in the past I have done one podcast a month. Over the summer, I was hoping to do 2 or maybe even 3 a month. Really 2. Like, I don't think I ever thought I'd really be able to do 3. But for now, we're just gonna see. Like, I'm gonna knit, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna take care of my family, and we're gonna see. So hopefully I am back for another podcast in October, but if not, it might be November. And that does make me a little sad because I do love talking to you all and sharing my projects, but life is crazy right now, and homeschooling 4 kids that are in like real grades. And I have a sophomore in high school, I have an 8th grader, I have a 5th grader, and I have a 2nd grader. And between those kids, they play 6 instruments. So that's lessons and practice times and rehearsals, as well as co-op and robotics and just like all kinds of things. And it's all good things. But right now, I just feel like my life is just mostly momming, and I do have to knit. And I think in August I was a little sad because I just wasn't knitting. So I think my goal is to knit, and hopefully I will make it back on to update you on what I am working on. So, but I am still on Instagram, and I'm definitely going to be active in our reading Telegram group. So please join us, and let me know how you're doing in the comments, and let me know how you keep up with your knitting when you get busy. So I'll look forward to reading all of those things. And now I'm going to share with you some photos of everyone's coloring sheets. They are so fabulous, and you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.